Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I'm Banjo Ben, your host, along with my wonderful Huber Banjo, here to teach you a song. You know, here at BanjoBenClark.com, I teach songs or techniques around a 20 to 30 minute video every week. And I teach banjo, guitar, and mandolin. I'm glad that you've joined me today. You know, one song that I taught years ago on YouTube, back before I had the set and good cameras and put tab on the screen and all that stuff, I taught I'll Fly Away on banjo, and it's been one of my most popular videos, even though the quality was low. But here over the last couple weeks, I've had 4 or 5 requests to redo this song in the new format. So that includes a tab on the screen, as you'll see, more detailed instruction. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, here in a little while, I'll ask you to go over to BanjoBenClark.com, where you can sign up for a 3-day free trial to see all my videos. I have hundreds of them. And over there, you'll like the format because not only do I teach measure by measure, but then I have another video segment where we just play it very slowly all the way through so you can practice along with me with the tab on the screen. And then I have 3 different guitar rhythm tracks, okay, 3 different speeds, so that you can then have the tab and practice along with me. There's no excuses then. Anybody can learn how to play banjo doing that, okay? Let's dive into I'll Fly Away. Who doesn't like I'll Fly Away? This is probably one of the most well-known tunes, not just gospel tunes, but tunes in general. I remember I was over in Israel a couple years ago, and we had some bluegrass instruments. We had a little bluegrass jam in the middle of this Israeli village on the top of the Galilean mountains, and we played this song, and even people who couldn't speak English were singing along with this song. It was pretty amazing. So this version is exactly like the version that I taught before as far as the tab goes. But this time I want to tell you about some different options that you can use throughout the song to maybe spice up your playing a little bit. But starting right there in the first measure is just to kick off. And what's going on is we're going to come in on the and of 1. Okay? Some people have trouble with this, especially if you're a newer player. But it sounds like this, a kickoff. What kind of makes it tricky is that we're coming in on the and of 1, as I mentioned. So if you were counting along with this, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay? So if you have trouble with this kickoff, I just want to tell you that you can just walk into it. You can just do just 3 quarter notes on the 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come back into it. Now, most of my ornaments in this song, meaning slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, most of them are 16th note ornaments versus 8th note ornaments. Now, if that makes no sense to you, then you need to watch my pull-offs video here on the site. And also, I think I did Old Joe Clark or Cripple Creek, one of those, and we talked about in length the difference between 16th note and 8th note ornaments. But essentially here in measure 2, we have a 16th note slide. You can tell because of the little double bar line beneath it. What that means is that the slide's going to happen before you pick that second note. Notice that I have all my right hand fingers beneath the notes there. So we're going to slide from 2 to 4 quickly before we pick this open B string. So it sounds like this. And what I want to encourage you to do is after you've done this slide, leave it down, okay, through the next 3 or 4 notes until you have to play that open G string again, because that note will ring out. Okay, pretty simple so far. We're just doing these little square rolls. Measure 3 sounds like this. Once again, we've got a 16th note hammer-on down here from the open 4th string to 2nd fret, and I'd like for you to leave that on for a little while as well. So measure 3 sounds like this. And then I'll release it there towards the end of the measure. Just this first line played all together sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Good. Let's go to the second line. Here we have just a forward roll, but we're going to start off the forward roll with another 16th note slide. Okay, so it sounds like this. Now Now an eighth note slide, just to kind of show you the difference, if that was an eighth note slide, if there was just a single bar line beneath that slide, it would sound like this. See how I slid at the same time that I hit my second string? But this one we don't. We're going to do a 16th note slide, so it's a little quicker. Okay, and then we just have a little pinch there. Measure 5 is real simple. We start off with a pinch, then do some forward rolls. Good. Now for measure 6, the chord changes to C, so we're going to get into a C type of pattern. We're just going to do a partial C chord, not the full one, so that means first string on your, or first fret on the B string there with your index finger, and then I'm going to reach with my ring finger and play the second fret up here on my first string. Okay, but it starts off with an open G note, and then we're going to start some forward rolls through the next couple measures. That's measure 6. Going into measure 7, we're going to use our middle finger to jump around a little bit. We're going to do another forward roll, but place our middle finger down the second fret of the G string. So measure 7. Then lift it, then bring it down to the second fret of the low D string. Okay, so 6 and 7 together sound like this. And one thing that I want to encourage you to do is to accent the melody. The melody is going, I'll fly away. And so the middle note in these forward rolls are the melody. So what I want to accent is in the 7th measure, I want to try to accent with my index finger that second fret there, and then the open string, and then also we're going to accent with a thumb, this low second fret. So 6 and 7, listen to me accent it. Hear how I do that? That way it's not just a wall of notes thrown at you. You can still hear the melody. Good. Now when we get to measure 8,